It was really hard to watch, and it kind of pains me to say this today, but I think President Biden needs to step down and be replaced.
Hey, everybody. This is Troy over at Uncomfortable Truths. Thanks for checking me out. So we have to keep talking about the debate fallout because President Joe Biden has decided that he is not going to withdraw from the race. Now, this is absolutely crazy because not only is Joe Biden obviously not there mentally and shouldn't even be running the country now, but there is absolutely no way that this guy is going to be fit to run for another 4 years. Now, along with this issue, Democrats are concerned because Joe Biden is not winning the election against Trump currently. And it doesn't look like he's going to be inspiring a whole lot of confidence in the American people when the campaign literally has to hide him away from the cameras. When he finally does come out and actually have a debate with Trump, we watched as his brain melted on stage and he gave us this performance.
With the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
And while this was a particularly poor moment for Joe Biden, it was far from being the only gaffe of the night. And I think we actually need to ask ourselves, if this guy is really supposed to be the commander-in-chief and he is supposed to be fulfilling the responsibilities as president, who is actually stepping in to take on that role? Because Joe Biden is barely a figurehead at this point. They only bring Joe Biden out to do the State of the Union, and everybody claps him on the back and says he does a wonderful job just if he doesn't have a medical emergency on stage. Once the teleprompter was taken away from him, this is the Joe Biden that we get. And guys, he's not getting better, and Democrats know this. Even Democrats are saying, hey, look, we have got to get this guy out of here and we need to replace him with someone else. Otherwise, we're going to lose to Trump. Honestly, it might even be too late for the Democrats to pull out a win anyway. But if they were going to do everything that they could to actually secure a win against President Trump, well, the only chance they have at this point is to actually replace Biden, because there are states which haven't gone to Republicans in literally years and years, which are now in play and could actually flip over to Trump. So Democrats see the writing on the wall. And now, after years of telling us, no, Joe Biden is mentally fit, he has a wonderful performance and track record as president, you definitely shouldn't question his ability. Now, even some of these Democrats are saying, yeah, we need to get somebody else. So keep in mind that they've been lying to you all of this time. And now that he had a poor performance and they're not able to actually set this aside because even Democrats aren't buying this crap anymore. Now, all of a sudden, it's okay to actually question Joe Biden. And even the ladies at The View are saying, hey, we need to rethink this. Now, when you are a Democratic president and you can't keep those ridiculous people on The View actually on your side, then you've really gone way too far in one direction that can't be saved in any way, shape, or form, because they will defend the most ridiculous things that any of us have ever seen. And even they're just throwing their arms up in the air and they're saying, hey, look, there's nothing we can do at this point, and we need to talk about getting somebody else in there.
You know, I think what we saw was that Biden lost that debate. I think that is an accurate depiction of what happened. Blame it on a cold, blame it on his stuttering, blame it on over-preparation, whatever. But he did lose. Maybe he needs to go. Maybe he needs to be honest with himself and the American people. He can bow out at this time with grace and dignity. He has a record he can be proud of.
So a lot of that was just straight up cope, because Biden does not have a record that he can be proud of. Joe Biden has dragged America into multiple proxy conflicts, making the United States less safe than we were when he took office. Joe Biden has also overseen one of the biggest immigration crises that this country has ever faced. He has overseen one of the largest points of inflation in decades. On almost every single metric that Joe Biden can be measured on, he has absolutely failed. So no, Joe Biden does not have a record to be proud of, which is why Joe Biden was losing before the debate. All the debate did was show the American people, the elevator isn't really going all the way to the top floor with Joe Biden. This guy is not in control of his faculties, and he cannot be trusted with another 4 years in office. literally who is running the country now, because it sure as hell is not Joe Biden. Now, the View hosts do not care about the country whatsoever. What they do care about is making sure that the Democrats control power, which is why they keep running this propaganda outlet on behalf of the Democrats. Even the token conservative is out there saying, oh yeah, well, I really believe that Biden is a wonderful man and he really loves America. What would he have done that would actually make you believe that? Because his policies sure as hell don't seem to be benefiting most Americans. So the reason why they're actually talking about Joe Biden and they're admitting, hey, look, this did not go well for Joe Biden. It's simply because they want the Democrats to retain power, and that is not going to happen with Joe Biden. So they actually do take a couple different avenues of attack. And now we have the next host who's going to go and say, hey, look, it looks like if we're going to beat Donald Trump, it can't be done with Joe Biden. Take a look.
But here's the thing. Biden has been running on Donald Trump as a threat to democracy. He's a threat to our values. I agree with him on that. Donald Trump is a threat to American democracy. We need someone who can beat him. And so I think I've been told for a long time, put country before party and support Joe Biden.
Right.
He needs to put country before his own ambition, and he needs to step aside and
Look, the reality is Donald Trump is at the very least the best president of this generation. He did better on foreign policy than any other president in my lifetime. And we can tell that because we weren't in any new wars with Donald Trump. We had a roaring economy that helped not just the top earners, but working class people as well. Joe Biden couldn't touch Donald Trump for being the best president if his life depended on it. Joe Biden couldn't do what Donald Trump does in his wildest dreams. So the idea that the View hosts are going to sit around and whine about how poorly the country is going to do if Donald Trump resumes presidency is absolutely ludicrous. However, even they are recognizing, okay, look, we've gone way too far. People simply aren't going to buy this stuff. So we just flat out have to get rid of Joe Biden because we can't even spin this propaganda anymore. And this is our full-time job. Joe Biden not only shits his pants, he's shit the bed for the entire country. So there's nothing left to be done with Joe Biden other than to get rid of him. Because that's what the Democrats are going to need to do simply to have a chance at beating Donald Trump in the upcoming election. Because right now, Americans were already kind of on the fence about Joe Biden. And then after this debate performance, it's clear that there is no path to victory for Joe Biden. Even if he were to win election, the guy is not capable of actually fulfilling his responsibilities as president. And Americans should be absolutely furious that this person who appears to not have control of his mental faculties is actually supposedly running the country. We know that's not true. And if Joe Biden isn't running the country, then who is? So everybody, that's all I have on this one. We're going to keep an eye on this story, and I'll let you know as soon as we have anything new that comes out about whether or not Joe Biden is actually going to step down. But as of right now, Joe Biden is saying that absolutely not. He's going to stay in the race until the absolute end. Well, that's a choice, I guess. And honestly, that's probably the best thing that could happen for the Trump campaign because Biden is the most beatable Democrat at this point. So on that front, I suppose that I hope he stays in the race. However, I don't think 4 years of keeping somebody who is completely demented in the position of the presidency is a good idea. But do me a favor, everyone. Go ahead, hit like and subscribe. Tell me what you thought of the video, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care, everybody.